vegan for Eden on earth.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Whatever there may be in these traditions, and whatever may have been the place where a civilization more ancient than that of Rome, of Greece, of Egypt, and of India was developed, it is certain that this civilization did exist, and it is highly important to science to recover its traces, however feeble and fugitive they may be. Please continue watching to find out more.
Здравствуйте, уважаемые зрители, means hello dear viewers in Russian. My name is Veronica. The generous people of North Ossetia, Alania send you warm greetings. May the support and love of heaven be with you always. The 19th century Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was born into a noble family in Ukraine. As a child, young Helena displayed a gift for clairvoyance as well as an interest in metaphysical phenomena. Years later, she traveled throughout Europe, the Middle East, and India, studying with various teachers and Sufi saints. Following the guidance of an Indian yogi named Mahatma Maurya, Madame Blavatsky co-founded the Theosophical Society. Theosophy, meaning divine wisdom, refers to knowledge that comes through spiritual experience rather than intellectual understanding alone. The Theosophical Society is dedicated to uplifting humanity through a realization of the oneness of life and the wisdom underlying all religions. Madame Blavatsky wrote several important books on theosophy, including Isis Unveiled, The Secret Doctrine, The Key to Theosophy, and The Voice of the Silence. The Secret Doctrine, published in 1888, has been acknowledged by many as one of the most remarkable books in the world. It is considered the Bible of Theosophy and the source book of esoteric tradition. Offering insight into the origin and evolution of the universe, the Secret Doctrine also details an account of root races dating back millions of years. Although she was considered the author of the Secret Doctrine, Madame Blavatsky often expressed that she only conveyed the ancient wisdom that was passed on to her. The true authors of the work were her teachers, the Mahatmas, or great souls who were the guardians of the secret wisdom of the ages. Today on Words of Wisdom, we invite you to join us for excerpts from the Sons of God and the Sacred Island in Madame Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine. The Sons of God and the Sacred Island. If we believe the tradition at all, we have to credit the further story that, from the intermarrying of the progeny of the Hierophants of the island and the descendants of the Atlantean Noah, sprang up a mixed race of righteous and wicked. On the one side, the world had its Enochs, Moseses, various Buddhas, its numerous saviors, and great hierophants. On the other hand, its natural magicians, who through lack of the restraining power of proper spiritual enlightenment, perverted their gifts to evil purposes. We may supplement this by the testimony of some records and traditions. In the history of the virgins, vanished people and continents, the author says, one of the most ancient legends of India, preserved in the temples by oral and written tradition, relates that several 100,000 years ago, there existed in the Pacific Ocean an immense continent which was destroyed by geological upheaval, and the fragments of which must be sought in Madagascar, Ceylon, Sumatra, Java, Borneo, and the principal isles of Polynesia.
The high plateaus of Hindustan and Asia, according to this hypothesis, would only have been represented in those distant epochs by great islands contiguous to the central continent. According to the Brahmins, this country had attained a high civilization, and the peninsula of Hindustan, enlarged by the displacement of the waters at the time of the Grand Cataclysm, has but continued the chain of the primitive traditions born in this place. These traditions give the name of Rutas to the peoples which inhabited this immense equinoctial continent, and from their speech was derived the Sanskrit, and the Indo-Hellenic tradition preserved by the most intelligent population which immigrated from the plains of India equally relates the existence of a continent and the people to which it gives the name of Atlantis and Atlantids, the daughters of Atlas, and which it locates in the Atlantic in the northern portion of the tropics. Apart from this fact, the supposition of an ancient continent in those latitudes, the vestiges of which may be found in volcanic islands and mountainous surface of the Azores, the Canaries, and Cape de Verdes, is not devoid of geographical probability.
The Greeks, who moreover never dared to pass beyond the Pillars of Hercules on account of their dread of the mysterious ocean, appeared too late in antiquity for the stories preserved by Plato to be anything else than an echo of the Indian legend.
Moreover, when we cast a look on the planisphere, at the side of the islands and islets strewn from the Malayan archipelago to Polynesia, from the Straits of Sunda to Easter Island, it is impossible, upon the hypothesis of continents preceding those which we inhabit, not to place there the most important of all. A religious belief common to Malacca and Polynesia, that is to say, to the two opposite extremes of the oceanic world, affirms that all these islands once formed two immense countries, inhabited by yellow men and black men, always at war, and that the gods wearied with their quarrels, having charged ocean to pacify them. The latter swallowed up the two continents, and since it has been impossible to make him give up his captives,
along the mountain peaks and high plateaus escaped the flood by the power of the gods, who perceived too late the mistake they had committed.
Whatever there may be in these traditions, and whatever may have been the place where a civilization more ancient than that of Rome, of Greece, or Egypt, and of India was developed, it is certain that this civilization did exist, and it is highly important to science to recover its traces, however feeble and fugitive they may be. This last tradition corroborates the one given from the records of the secret doctrine. The war mentioned between the yellow and the black men relates to a struggle between the sons of God and the sons of giants, or the inhabitants and magicians of Atlantis. The final conclusion of the author, who personally visited all the islands of Polynesia and devoted years to the study of the religion, language, and traditions of nearly all the peoples, is as follows. As to the Polynesian continent, which disappeared at the time of the final geological cataclysms, its existence rests on such proofs
that, to be logical, we can doubt no longer.
The three summits of this continent, the Sandwich Islands,
New Zealand, Easter Island, are distant from each other from 15 to 1800 leagues, and the groups of intermediate islands, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Futuna, Uea, New Caledonia.
The Marquesas, Tahiti, the Gambiers are themselves distant from these extreme points from 700 or 800 to 1,000 leagues. All navigators agree in saying that the extreme and the central groups could never have communicated in view of their actual geographical position and with the insufficient means they had at hand.
It is physically impossible to cross such distances in a pirogue without a compass and travel months without provisions. On the other hand, the Aborigines of the Sandwich Islands, of Fiji, of New Zealand, of the Central Groups, of Samoa, Tahiti, etc.,
had never known each other, had never heard of each other before the arrival of the Europeans. And yet, each of these people maintained that their island had at one time formed part of an immense stretch of land which extended towards the west on the side of Asia. And all, brought together, were found to speak the same language, to have the same usages, the same customs, the same religious belief. And all to the question, where is the cradle of your race? For sole response extended their hand
toward the setting sun.
Geographically, this description clashes slightly with the facts in the secret records, but it shows the existence of such traditions, and this is all one cares for. For as there is no smoke without fire, so a tradition must be based on some approximate truth. Wonderful viewers, it's been a pleasure to have you with us today on Words of Wisdom.
Coming up next is Kathak, the classical dance of India, part 2 of 3, right after Noteworthy News. In heaven's grace, may your days be filled with divine wonderment and peace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Killing is never right. Peace is the only answer.